I ain't hungry. First, I always say hungry dogs run fast. I ain't hungry. I'm starving.
Hurts takes the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's in. Touchdown. Jalen Hurts.
When that cage opens up again, our teeth are snarling. We're drooling. We're ready. We're hungry, ready to hunt again.
Dallas. We hate you. Race is snow. The Eagles train to go. The Eagles win.
And again, and again, and again.
It ain't about them. It's about us. We play up to our potential. Each and every one of us together. Nobody can beat us. I promise you.
What is up, my Brus, my bird, Brus? We are back. Eagles win. We are there. We're Dub City. John Clayton, what's up?
How we doing? Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Great to be here, guys. Go Birds.
we are here, man. We are 5-2, and I would say maybe a routine catch away from being a one-loss team. What do you think?
I agree. Sucks that happened, but this was a great game today. I don't think there was too many big splash plays. More so like a consistent kind of win, if you will. I mean, obviously there was, I'd say maybe two big splash plays there, but just a consistent, hard fought win.
Yeah, I agree. Clayton, I know that we texted a little bit, and I want to give the floor to you, my man.
Yeah. I just want to kind of address some of the people in Eagles Nation here, and more specifically, some of the media members that cover this team, that are around this team every day and are inside and outside of that facility, and that's their whole job. Elliott Shore-Parks specifically, coming into this week, this guy is saying how this is an acceptable loss. It's okay for the Eagles to go into Cincinnati and lose this football game. He's spreading this out there to our fan base, that this is an acceptable loss, that as long as we look good and we stay in the game, this is fine. That's loser mentality. Get the fuck out of here, you beta. Like, I'm done with that. Dude, don't be spreading that loser mentality to Philadelphia Eagle Nation, okay? You're not Philadelphian. That's not a Philadelphian mindset, dude. No loss is ever acceptable. In the history of winning and losing, there is no acceptable loss. Ever. So just get that straight. Elliott Shore-Parks, you're a coward. You're a loser. And all of your street cred's gone, bro. Like, I'm sorry, your camp stats, yeah, I'll follow you for that. Everything else, you're dead to me. You loser. Acceptable loss. And what happened? Everybody running around here scared to death of the Bengals. Everybody in the media burying us, saying we don't have a puncher's chance to go in there. And what happened? What'd we do today? What'd we do?
History. We made history. That's what we did.
We walked in there and we put the fucking Bengals 6 feet under. We ruined their season. We just ended them.
Well, I'll say before I get on ESP, I when they went for it on that fourth down, that was atrocious. That was their season. That was a desperation move. Like, if you're the desperate guy, you never want to look like the desperate guy. They were like, it was insane. That fourth down where they went for it it's incredible. They were such losers. It was written on their face.
Yeah, they gave up.
That was their season.
Oh, I'll tell you this. We made history. We won in Cincinnati. We never done that before, so I'm going to take that any day of the week.
Well, yeah, but hold on. Yeah, but before we get too far away, yeah, dude, your point on ESP, Elliott Shore-Parks, you are a coward. You're a clickbait, sensational loser, hack of a beat writer. Anytime you want to come on this show, and you won't come on it because you think you're better than this, oh, we don't have the production. Dude, come on any time. We will rip you apart. You won't do it because you're a coward. I agree with you, Clayton. ESP, you are a coward. Anytime you want to come on here, there's an open invite whenever. And don't even think you're too good because you're not. You're a loser. All right.
And you could bring your boy James with you too, because I'll light him up just the same. Although he has more rational arguments than ESP. And he wasn't a coward this week like ESP, but you can bring him on too. I'll light both of you guys up.
He's a clickbait loser, dude. Loser. Straight up. That's what he does. He spews nonsense for clicks. And even us talking about it, we're feeding into it. He's got nothing.
100%. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. Like, I don't want Eagles Nation. You should start filtering away from the mainstream and the beat writers and start, going to these content creators. Yeah, we're not around the team like they are, but at least we love the team. At least we care. At least we're not cowards. We're not going to give up. Already given up before a snap is even played. You gave up, Elliot, and then you were spewing that and feeding that to the fans. That's unacceptable. I don't care. And if that's your thoughts, that's your thoughts. That's your opinion, that's your opinion. Don't try to spin it though like anything is ever an acceptable loss. Don't ever try to spin it to where you're trying to spoon feed it where we can take it. No. If you want to say that you think the Philadelphia Eagles were going to go into Cincinnati and lose that football game, then stand behind that. Don't sit there and skirt around it like, "Oh, it's an acceptable loss as long as we're in the game." No, 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 no. Be a man. Your thought process was, I don't think this is a good football team, but I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be man enough to say that. Your thought process was, I'll kind of just skirt around it because I think this team's going to lose, but and then spin it afterwards. Well, at least we were in the game and this. Nah, dude, you win or lose. There's no acceptable losses. It's not a gray area. It's white and black. You win, you lose, and you should never fucking walk into a game thinking that you're going to lose, being okay with the fact that you're going to lose. None of that, dude. That's coward shit. Get the fuck out of Philly. You're not a Philadelphian. You don't deserve to fucking write about this team. You don't deserve to do podcasts about this team. You're not Philadelphian, man.
I agree. I agree 100%. And the listeners may have noticed my my audio changed from bad to good because I didn't have the mic plugged in, guys. And and that's the type of production we have on here. Guys, I want to reset. I want to actually do something here. I want to review a beer. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Man, I love it though. I love the fiery stuff. Did you guys hear me on that? Was I coming through?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. Moonraker Brewing Company. This is a beer. It's called Spinal Sap. It's an Imperial IPA. Man, I'm excited for it. I wish
Sounds
I could
heavy.
Dude, Imperial is heavy. Let's see
Yeah.
this here. This is a brewery, a Moonraker. It's from California. Let's see. I had to pull it up here. What's it worth? Let's see. Smells like a heavy beer, and I'm drinking out of the Eagles pint glass.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, it's looking light. Let's see what's clocking in at. What's his ABV? 8%. Jesus.
Yeah, I figured that.
Yeah. They have a cool design. It's like a hop, but with the lungs and it's dripping down. Let's see. Let's take a sip of this. Yeah. That's smooth. That's a dangerously smooth. Might be one of the best beers I've ever had.
I'm gonna do a quick beer review. This is Miller Lite by Miller.
Dude, I love it.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, this is This is a 9.3. It's a 9.3
Oof.
easily, guys.
Especially
I'm drinking
after a
nine-
win.
Oh.
I'm drinking a 9.3 right now, man.
Especially after a dub.
Yeah, Spinal Sap. It's an 8.0 Enigma and Citra hops. They're doing it. Moonraker Brewing Company. That's a 9.3. Let's get back to the game, guys. What are we thinking?
Oh man, like I said, just a great consistent win there. I don't think we did too. I mean, like I said, there was probably two big splash plays that we can talk about. I don't want to do too much ahead of time, but you know what? Again, Jalen Hurts doesn't turn the ball over. He almost does. He almost throws a pick in the flat to Gainwell, but he doesn't. So he takes care of the ball again. Has a pretty nice game. 236 yards, one touchdown. Saquon has 22 carries for 108 yards. Glad to see him get up over 100. No touchdowns, which is fine. Probably should have had one, but kind of slipped out of bounds there at the end or whatever. But Fonte Smith,
You could have dove in there, huh?
Yeah, well, he was tiptoeing it pretty good.
Yeah, his balance is off for sure.
So, I mean, just a great game overall. You know, we found at the beginning, I was like, we just got to find a way to get off the field on defense, and then I feel like eventually we found that. So, all in all, I'm pretty happy.
Well, and to ESP, we went on him about being a loser. I gotta say, man, I checked out after the first 2 series. I thought it was a loss, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's just, I guess that's a person I am. Not trying to be negative, but you get him in 5 third downs and you can't get off the field. I just thought this was gonna be like a Burrow chiseled us game, and man, I'm glad I was wrong.
Yeah, the defense looked rough, especially that first drive. Burrow just went straight down the field on us, carving us up, and it's just one of those things where you're like, oh man, here we go. You're worried about what happened in Tampa happening again here, but they really, got their stuff together after the first quarter, and I'd say they dominated the game from the second quarter on. In my opinion, it was never really in question. I know going into halftime there, we were tied, but I just felt like after we got that we tied it up and we came out and got that touchdown to start the second half, that we were in control. It was good to see that we definitely seemed like the more physical team out there. I can tell you, even during the first quarter and when we were kind of struggling to get everything together, both sides of the line, in the trenches, we were winning, and that's, as long as you're winning in the trenches, you can build off that. And I would say, Vic Fangio made some adjustments, which was nice. So we didn't see, what they did to us, especially that first drive, really continue throughout the game. It was just, all 3 phases, again, played great. Special teams didn't really have that much of an impact in the game today. But the defense and offense definitely played, complementary football again. Took care of the ball, took it away. It's just it felt like 22 again. It was fun to watch.
We got the takeaway. Johnny said,
two
we got it.
takeaways.
Two
takeaways.
Yeah,
Shout out,
Bond punched that out, dude. That was great.
yeah, shout out to Vic Fangio, because he really did make some adjustments throughout the game. He's starting to grow on me a good bit here. I
Yeah,
got a
for
lot
as
of love
much
for
as
the guy. So
we, and I was one of the ringleaders of this. I wasn't a Gannon guy. I feel like he didn't adjust well. And, we would see, because, Gannon kind of runs a Fangio-esque style, and we would see good quarterbacks dice our defense up, and there would be no adjustments. Vic adjusted within a quarter and a half, and it won the game. I mean, if we had Gannon back there and there was no adjustments to what they were doing in that first quarter, this is a completely different game, man. I don't know that we win it. And it would have been, it's not even like they were deep balling us, which they have the ability to do. It's just 1,000 paper cuts.
With seeing Nolan on Chase in the end zone.
bunch of Indian burns.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think? So Clayton, from like a football aspect, because I was like kind of in and out, I was watching it, but like there were adjustments being made that you would say won the game.
Yeah, I would say he started switching up some of his coverages. And again, I don't think they were running a ton of man, but I think they started to switch a little bit to man, or manning up in some spots. But yeah, I mean, I think they were bringing their cornerbacks in a little bit more, trying to limit that big cushion to where they could just, because the way it works is if this guy catches the ball and you're one-on-one and he beats that one-on-one, he's going, he's probably going to get an extra 10 yards. So it's tackling is imperative and keeping everything in front of you. And I think he kind of battened down the hatches there on that. I'd have to go back and watch it again to see specifically what he was doing. But I could tell something, he changed some stuff up for sure, because it wasn't looking the same as it was. And Burrow wasn't having the field day that he was having. I think he was like 11 of 12 to start. And then
dude, he was insane. Like, do you think he gets flustered, Burrow? Like, because he started out like, this guy is gonna have a career day. That's how it looked. I mean, he's like 6 for 6. He drives the team down. He's hitting ridiculous throws, and then he just kind of goes cold at halftime. It felt like.
Yeah, I have to I'd have to throw that to the adjustments that Vic was making, that he changed up what looks he was giving him, and trying to confuse him a little bit, so it wasn't what he was expecting as much, so he couldn't just go out there and slinging it. Because I mean, he was making that one deep
That
throw on the
one-handed
sideline.
yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
There was one deep throw on the sideline that Slay had really good coverage in, but Burrow just put it literally dropped over the guy's shoulder into his right arm. Like, it just landed right where it needed to be. It's like you can't defend that.
Well, like
And
it was like the game. It's like I'm looking at that and I go, oh my god, we're battling this. You can't beat when someone's perfect.
exactly.
First of all, that's a push off too. Every day of the week, that should have been offensive pass interference. If it's the same one we're talking about, Clayton, in my opinion, the receiver pushed Slay off. The one to Burton down the sideline.
yeah, that was
That's
it.
the throw you're talking about.
Yeah.
I think that's a push off, but whatever it is, either way, it's still a perfect throw.
And I seen he adjusted to the tight. So whatever he was planning on defending the tight ends with, they were eating us up in the first half, and not so much in the second. I mean, Gesicki had a good day overall, but they weren't doing the damage that they were doing to us in the first half and the second half. So I think he might have switched that up. Like, maybe he took the responsibility off of Dean and Vaughn. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and look.
Gesicki only had 73 yards. I felt like he was eating us up more than that.
Yeah,
You agree?
he was making like timely plays, like first
for sure,
downs,
for sure.
which was just crushing us. And it wouldn't be just like a 3rd and 1. It would be like a 3rd and long, and he'd get off on it.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my gosh, it's a freaking dagger. But yeah, they kind of adjusted and mitigated that in the second half for sure.
Sirianni is 3-0 post mental breakdown. Are mental breakdowns healthy? Should we all be mentally like this is such a weird. I think about it like do we like Sirianni? Like, I feel like is Hurts. I sent that stat to you guys. They showed it on the broadcast, but like, is Hurts the most underappreciated winner in football? Like, this guy has won at football, and so has Sirianni. Like, are we? I know that like it's easy to hate, but are we able to now appreciate them? Like, are we? What's the temperature on that? Is Sirianni back? He's not getting fired. He's earned enough to go through the season.
I think we definitely see the team rallying him around him. And post mental breakdown here. I think he's dialed it in. I think maybe he's kind of let go, but at the same time, I still see some plays here and there that have Nick's writing on it. But I feel like he's kind of let go and kind of just doing what he does best, and that's just control the game, as the head coach.
Writing is fine. Yeah. Writing is fine as long as you're winning. Like,
yeah, that's the biggest thing. I mean, you'll turn if you're winning, the temperature comes down. If you're losing, the temperature is going to go up. Whether that's deserved or not, that's just the nature of the beast.
He looks like he's having fun.
Yeah, the whole team does.
Yeah,
which they weren't last year. You could tell they were like 9-1, 10-1. They were the most miserable fucks I've ever seen with a record like that. Like, they didn't look like they had fun coming to work anymore. This year, it's back to it, man. It looks like they're having fun. It looks like Nick's loose, having fun. It's good to see that this team is rallied behind. So we had the Nick, we jawing with the fans after the Browns game. He got destroyed all week long, rightly so. And then we see the team come out and rally behind him in New York, or New Jersey, as it were.
Yeah.
And then the following week, I don't know if you guys had seen this, but Jalen Hurts was getting destroyed all week long, saying that this was probably definitely his worst game of this season and maybe one of the worst of his career. Greg Cosell out there just slaying him. You had Sanchez go on Colin Cowherd's show.
I love that.
And he's slaying him. It's like, wow. And then to see him come out and put up this was his best performance of the year. I mean, in my opinion, it's not close. The Green Bay game was nice, but he had 2 costly turnovers that could have lost the game. This was his best performance, and to see that, and I think the team also had his back too. So it's like these guys are rallying behind each other. When somebody gets down, man, they're right there to pick everybody up. Their head coach gets slammed, they're right there to pick him up. Your QB1's getting slammed, right there to pick him up. And they are rolling. They're gaining momentum. I mean, it looks.
Clayton, is it too early to do that though? Like you want to see this kind of like late December. Not saying that we can't keep it going, but is it too early for that mentality? I agree it's great, but like are we going to burn out?
I don't think so because I'm just going to skip in real quick. Sorry, but I don't think so. I don't think so because you need to get hot right now for these later big games. That's my thing. Go ahead, Clayton.
Yeah, you got to keep stacking W's right now. And honestly, this still is not our final form. We're rounding into it.
Okay.
This isn't it. This today what we've seen today is just glimpses of what our final form is going to be. I'm telling you right now. So we're still rounding in. We're still growing. If you look from out the week out of the bye, the Browns week, we got a little bit better. I mean, we were rock bottom coming off of that Tampa game, and then we went into New York, New Jersey. Got a little bit better. Had a really nice defensive performance. Offense, so good running game. And then we came into this Bengals game where everybody's counting us out. We haven't won here. The odds are stacked against us. Even Vegas hasn't given us a chance. And we go out there and absolutely ball out. We are getting better every single week. So to kind of weave it back into the Sirianni thing, I'm okay with Sirianni. I feel like he is this team is making corrections. They're seeing weak spots and they're fixing it. That wasn't happen last year. When we started collapsing, there was no fix, and they were scrambling to find it, and they couldn't find it, and they couldn't fix it. This year, the little stuff that's going wrong, I feel like Nick's identifying Nick and his staff. It's not just Nick, so let's be clear. It's his entire coaching staff, and it's not just the coordinators. It's the positional coaches. It goes down to everybody, and it's on the players. They're buying in, and they're accepting coaching, and and what's good is the coaching's good because we're identifying what we're doing wrong, and we're fixing little problems here and there. It's like that podcast we had, I think it was right before the Browns game, 10% better every week.
Yes.
And that is exactly what we're seeing. What we asked for is what we're seeing right now, and it's a thing of beauty, and I love it. As long as we continue to get better, don't have any major injuries to crucial players, this team is going to round out. I think it's going to get to where it needs to be at the right time, to where once the playoffs start, who the hell knows? It's no longer, I don't know if this team's a Super Bowl contender. It's like, no, this team is a contender, and whoever's lining up across us better watch out.
Yes, there's a couple places I want to go with this, but let's talk about, so we've in the past talked about a Max Crosby, Garrett, and I know John had mentioned we got to see, are we still doing that? Like, do we want that? Myles Garrett.
After this game, definitely, I think.
So that's where we're going. We're all in.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm all in with a caveat. You're not shipping Nolan Smith out. Because that was
really
you're
liking it.
I'm in on Smith. I think Smith's gonna develop. I think he's gonna be fine. It may not be this year, but I'm telling you right now, this kid's gonna be fine. Year 3, he's gonna be an above average, possibly good pass rusher. I'm seeing it. Again today, he's out there. If you have a motor like him, you have a fighter's chance to be great in this league.
You'll make any team if you have that kind of motor.
Exactly.
Because that's what people want. So
yeah, and that's what I seen. It wasn't for Crosby. It was for Garrett. They were talking about a player being included in that player being Nolan Smith specifically. I'm not on board if that's it. If it's Huff,
so you wouldn't do it if Smith is in there.
Depending on what the package is. If we're giving up a first round pick and Nolan Smith, no, I'm not doing it. If you want Nolan Smith, that first round pick comes off the board.
Yeah. Speaking of Nolan, I didn't like, I flagged his there was an incomplete pass that like kind of looked like it could be a fumble. It wasn't blown dead, and Nolan didn't seem to chase it down. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah, I think he didn't chase it down because he knew it went right off his face.
Yeah, but I don't know. It still was like, come on, man. Like I want you
Uh,
diving for that thing.
The one thing I didn't like, and this isn't Nolan Smith's fault, it's just what the play called, was Nolan Smith on Jamar Chase. Now
Yeah.
I know last week we had BG on Neighbors, and then like the week before Nolan Smith was on
Cooper.
Cooper on the Browns and stuff. Like Jamar Chase is very elite. I don't think that's a good matchup there. Obviously, they gave up the touchdown there.
I was gonna say, especially in the end zone, like you're covering him in the paint in the end
Yeah,
zone.
I just don't know if that's it. But I guess it didn't matter.
Yeah,
in
and
the
that
end,
was,
so
and that's more on Vic than Nolan himself. I mean,
that's what I said,
he's
yeah.
not a coverage guy.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
So basically you're getting thrown to the wolves there. But
Yeah.
I do like if Vic believes in it and he's staying with it, then eventually maybe Smith comes this coverage defensive end.
Yeah. I don't know, dude. I was super negative. I got to admit, man. I don't know. I don't know what it was. I thought I didn't like the way it started. I didn't, and man, this team has proven me wrong, and I'm
Well, look.
glad to be proven wrong. in
Look,
this situation.
how you gonna like how this game starts when they receive, then they burn 9-10 minutes off the
It was
clock?
it was like
Yeah.
the quickest quarter I have ever like. I looked away, like no, I was watching, but it's like 4 minutes left. It's like, where did that go? They're just driving, dude.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, how you going to get around to and can you really even blame this team for not getting first quarter points? When they
Right,
start
right.
off
I
with
was
10
going to bring
minute
it up.
drive.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
Yeah, there's an asterisk on this one.
Yeah, I'll tell
But
you
that,
this.
that was Burrow, dude. Like Burrow is a good quarterback.
Oh man, I love this.
He's very good.
Yeah, no, he's yeah. We let's joke about his hair, but he's a good quarterback, man. Like he's seriously.
He's one of
can,
my
like-
favorite quarterbacks.
I mean, I respect the guy, dude.
yeah.
I do.
I mean, he throws guys open all the time, and you see it. It's crazy. So, I mean, he's definitely elite. He's losing though. He's 0-4 at home. This year
That's
it's
not good.
So that thing might blow up. I don't know.
That's gonna blow up.
Bunch
They're-
more losses. Yeah, people want to get out of there.
Yeah, that's gonna blow up, and I just don't think their defense is good enough. Their O line is not great either. They have one player. Oh no, they have two. Their center's really good, but yeah, they're
Well, I had mentioned
Yeah.
like they were like it sounded from the fans' perspective that they were playing for their season, and they showed that with that fourth down. When you go for it, you're gonna give the ball over to us on the 40. That's insane. That was them playing for their season. I think their coach Zach Taylor, he let the pressure get to him. Man, you don't do that. That was a bad call. That was a very bad call.
Also, that's a great play by Cooper DeJean to stay with Jamar and make the open field tackle. That's one of my splash plays on the game.
Yeah, but think about that. That's the play for your season, and you throw it to the flat to Jamar. Like that's what you're doing.
I mean, yeah, you got an elite receiver. You think he's going to beat a one-on-one tackle? I mean, I'm going to probably throw that to Jamar Chase every single day of the week. Obviously,
I see what you're saying.
he
I
didn't
get
get
it, but that was desperation, man. That wasn't cool.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but like, there's definitely better play. I'm with you there. Like, there's definitely better plays to call, but you got to put the ball into the hands of your main guy and make him, make the play. And he just didn't make it. He fell short.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Clayton.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, I understand putting it in is your best player's hands, but that play call was okay. But thank God for us, and thank God DeJean followed him the whole way across the formation too, and then stuck him in the open field to get that tackle. That was a hell of an individual effort right there on DeJean, and
that's
who knows
possibly
what happens.
the play of the game. That's probably the play of the game. The turning point.
As I say, that's one of the two of my nominees. One of three of my nominees, I should say.
I thought, man, Coop should have had that interception, man.
Oh man,
I was like, and yeah,
he also gave up.
Yeah, go ahead.
He also gave up that one big first down that really upset me because he come off his guy Gesicki to chase down Burrow, which I don't think you should do in that situation. I think you stay with your guy and let Burrow beat you with his legs there.
Yeah, you wait for Burrow to commit, like get across the line, and then you leave your guy. Like he was still behind the line, and he came at Burrow, which that's just he'll learn. That's something you're not going to do. I bet he doesn't do that again.
He had a couple miscues in the game, but came back to, I'd say, make probably the biggest play of the game.
Well, let's talk interceptions. I dude, Q got to catch that, man. Q, he was in bounds. He could have caught that.
Maybe he can't catch.
I don't know.
I think that's where we're at with it now. I mean, if that's the case, I'll take it because he's a hell of a coverage man.
Yeah.
What is that? 7 picks now?
Right.
Jesus. Yeah. I mean, he I'm looking at it right now. I gotta pause. He just needs to catch that. He's in. But on the
he's
flip,
definitely in.
Yeah, his elbows were in.
Yeah, on the flip side, Chauncey, that's an amazing play. I mean, that's not easy. That's not easy to like get a deflection, and then even the broadcast didn't know. He like goes to the end zone. That's a hard catch.
That's also amazing coverage by Isaiah Rodgers. I mean, that is blanket to a T coverage. I mean, great job by him. Which, do we see Rodgers step on the field a little bit more for Slay? I mean, what do you guys think?
It was interesting. I sent that to you guys. The broadcast said Slay was the most experienced cornerback, not the best cornerback. And that was it was an interesting thing to hear.
Which is correct. I don't think that he is the best cornerback, but he is the most experienced.
Yeah, but you would think he'd be the best, right?
I don't know, man. Q's really good. Q's really good this year.
Well, let's go on that. Like, are we passing the torch? Because, like, is this a moment where we go, Q was our best? Like, he's our best cornerback. We pass the torch.
Yeah, I personally, if we were still doing it and we don't do it, following ones around, I would put Q on their one every time over Slay.
So we're doing it. I love it. I agree. But yeah, I think the broadcast mentioned, and we're solidifying it. Q is the best cornerback on this roster.
Yes, I'd co-sign that.
So then, do you play Rodgers over Slay?
Yeah, I mean, well, I don't know.
Because that's where we're at. You know what I mean?
Well, if Slay's not healthy and he's dealing with a groin now, like he had a knee, now he's dealing with a groin. So if he's, haggard at all, any kind of lingering injury, I'm putting Rodgers out there. I'll take Rodgers at 100% over a 99% Slay.
Do we trade Slay?
Yes.
I would field offers for him.
Yeah, exactly. I think I agree on that.
Yes.
Because this is like something that we have never, it's weird. You go back, we never had wide receivers. Now we have two of the best in the league. We never had young cornerbacks or talented cornerbacks. We have both young and talented quarterbacks, and we got a whole bunch of them on the roster right now. So it's a weird position as an Eagles fan to find ourselves in here to say, yeah, we could actually ship our quote unquote number one cornerback off in Slay and not really feel it. I don't think the drop off would be that big, especially if Rodgers can stay healthy and get out there and start playing. Like we've seen this with Fred Johnson. His, just being out there, from 1 week to the next, you stack those starts in a row and you start growing from it. Like Fred Johnson looked great this week going against an elite pass rusher. So if we can get guys, that are going to be here moving forward, because we know if you zoom out the big picture, Slay is not in the big picture. Slay is this year.
No.
Yep.
Probably done after this year. Get something for him.
I think the other thing too is like you get a big contract off the books, and then you can potentially take on a big one with whoever you trade.
Yeah, and either way, I mean, like we said, Slay's gone at the end of this year. So if you feel comfortable enough with your depth at the cornerback position, you could get something for him, even if it's just a third or fourth round pick. I would be willing to do it right now.
Maybe a package deal, like
Yeah, that's where
are
I'm at.
we
Package deal.
packaging it to like Vegas seems like the Raiders are a team that would take on like I feel like a Slay, just to
Oh
have
yeah,
him.
they love people at the end of their career.
So do we not like package him in for like a Crosby?
If it was a Crosby
love that.
trade, yeah, I would
All day.
100% throw that in.
The other thing with the Crosby trade is like, and I know none of this shit actually matters, but like the proposed, internet analyst proposed one was nothing but picks too. So you actually don't even lose anybody. You would just, lose
I'd
picks
give
for the
those picks
Crosby
up.
deal.
Maybe
Yeah, it's like,
maybe you slap Slay in there and take some of those picks back. You know what I
I
mean?
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Slay
Yeah.
look good in silver and black.
Yeah, you would.
We're trying to ship him off. I like Slay as a person enough as you can, I guess.
Slay
He's
lost me with the when he went on the enemy's podcast and trashed his own teammate. You
and
lost
then a
me right
week
there,
later
bud.
went back.
Yeah, I'm ready to ship him off too.
You go out there and have a bad game, and instead of taking accountability for it, you post your career stats on your X account. Like, I'm done with you, dude. Like, thanks for your service. Here's a gold watch. You're done.
Yeah, thanks for never winning a Super Bowl, dude, for us, you loser.
And honestly, I
Well,
mean,
till now, maybe he does it this season. I'm not going to be negative. I'm not going to be negative.
well, he won't do it if he's not here. So if we
Well,
ship him out, he's gone.
Yeah. I love being negative. Great, man.
Something to think about.
Yeah, the man. It was a great game. Guys, let's take a quick break. More to discuss when we get back. Cheers. We are back. Man, we won. It's great. Clayton, you had some stats that you wanted to share here and maybe just a topic.
Yeah, just and this was something that I seen from last week, so the numbers are a little bit different than what I'm reading here. They're going to be a little bit better probably, but they had a Eagles ranking under Nick Sirianni since 2021. So since 2021, the Eagles are first in rushing touchdowns, 88, first and fourth down offense, 64.6% they convert. Tied for first in defensive sacks, 161, which again, that number is going to change. Second in rushing offense in 147.6 yards per game. Second in red zone offense. It means we score 62.2% of the time. It's pretty good. Third and third down offense, 45.3% conversion rate. Third in yards per attempt, 7.1. Pretty good. Third in yards per carry, 4.7. Fourth in winning percentage, he's 38-19 with 66%.
Yeah.
Which is going to be different. So I guess he's 39 now. So that's going to go up a little bit. Fourth in total touchdowns, 174. Fifth in offensive EPA per game in 3.37. Fifth in points per game, 26.1. Fifth in points per drive, 2.36. Fifth in first downs per game, 21.7. Sixth in total defense, 326.2 yards per game. Seventh in total offense, 367.2. And ninth in rushing defense, 111.4. So, I mean, if you go back and look, I mean, Nick has great numbers as a coach. It's just he does buffoonish stuff. It's like Trump. That's why everybody hates him. If he just did his job, he's actually pretty good at it.
Yeah, it goes back to my point of or my question, I guess, and I don't know the answer to this. Like when I sent that, Jalen Hurts is a winning quarterback. He wins. Are we unfairly judging these two?
When you look at the stats like that, I mean, I guess so.
But you know what I mean? Like Hurts is like you said, he's clutch, man.
I think a lot of our stuff, especially for Nick, gets judged off when he does foolish things on like one particular play during the game, when it's like a third and short and he dials up something ridiculous and then we get furious. I mean, but when you look at the stats, clearly,
You can't argue with it.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, what is there to say? Obviously, from the stats, it looks like he knows what he's doing.
Like, I wanted to ask you guys about this, like in particular. At the end of the first half, we were driving down there and there was game management. I thought it was impeccable game management. To run the clock down and get the touchdown. What do you guys think about that? And then we also got
Absolutely.
the penalty, which gave them 22 seconds. I thought that was absolutely asinine that they would. I wanted us 7 seconds on fourth down to push it in. What do you guys think about that?
I totally agree there. Now, I think most of the penalties in the first half were kind of rubbish, like the two on Tyler Steen there. Like the hold is crazy in the first quarter. I don't think that's a hold at all.
Well, I'm
And
sorry,
then,
there wasn't a penalty. They ruled against us scoring. I guess there wasn't a penalty.
I thought there was a penalty there where we got backed up.
No, I'm just talking about like the game management at the end of the first half where
Yeah. I know what you're saying, and running the clock off and stuff, but they still gave him 22 seconds. I know what you're saying. We scored the ball on the tush push and then left them with 22 seconds. Even though I know you would have liked to have seen it.
And the half with a touchdown.
Well, obviously we did, but I know you would have liked to have seen it with a lot less seconds left. But 22's not a lot of seconds to score a touchdown, especially.
I feel like New York gave it to him, man. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
Yeah, I know you texted me on that, but again, 22 seconds is not really a lot of time. So
well, they almost connected with Chase, and then it could have been a field goal.
Yeah, but they didn't.
Well, I don't like to see it either.
I don't know. Maybe Clayton will speak on it.
No, I just I have to agree with the two penalties called on Steen there. Like, just to get that out there, absolutely ridiculous. That one holding call that happens on every single play. Every single play.
You see it even when it goes against the Eagles, you see it, man.
Yeah,
the Eagles are holding, they're holding, like it happens.
It happens on every single play. That is not anything egregious. And then secondly, I know watching it live with John, we weren't sure if the whistle had been blown. The whistle wasn't blown when Steen came in to clear that dude off of Smitty. It was another one of those freaking instances where the refs weren't blowing the whistle. The play was obviously dead, and they're not blowing it dead. He got concussed off of the same shit last 2-3 weeks ago. And like, why are they doing that with him? The play is obviously over. He weighs 170 pounds, and you have two freaking guys on him pushing him back, and you're not blowing it dead. That's ridiculous. And then Steen comes in, and supposedly the play was blown dead, which there was no whistle until after Steen hit the guy, and he got the flag. So that was just two bullshit calls on Steen right there. Sorry, I had to get that out there. That was in my notes. I was pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, I agree.
But I mean, the way I was okay with it. I mean, yeah, ideally you would want to take a little more time off just because it's Joe Burrow over there, and you never know. He didn't have Higgins, but he had his elite guy there in Chase, so anything could happen.
But he's 2 throws away from 3 points. I mean, that's
So I mean, I would have liked to seen it, drain it a little bit more, but who knows? Maybe New York did give it to him. It looked like a touchdown to me, but I don't think there was any really great angle. Maybe that last one that we seen from over top.
Yeah.
That one looked pretty definitive.
That throw to Smitty, man. Like that's a ballsy throw.
That's my second splash play. That's when I knew that Jalen Hurts was in rhythm. Like leading up to that, we're scoring or whatever, here and there, and I'm still kind of like scared on every drive, and then he hits Smitty for that big splash play, and I'm like, we'll score on every drive because Hurts is dialed in. That's how I felt after that.
Dude, when you don't turn the ball over, like, can you see what happens?
Yeah.
Well, and again, I'll have to go back and double check this, but I know for a fact he had a lot of like middle of the field throws that we were talking about that he's scared to do. He was doing that more today, and he was also doing a little more intermediate because we were second from last in the league in passes that went from 5 to 15 yards. And that's like your high percentage. That's where the bulk of your high percentage plays are, at 5 to 15, and he just wasn't throwing them. But today he did. He was using the middle. He was utilizing the middle of the field a lot more. He was under center more. So yeah, positives.
Yeah. I thought Dotson like was open on that first AJ Brown throw. I thought Dotson was wide open. I don't know. Maybe
I'll have to
maybe
go
he's
back
not.
and look. I didn't notice it.
Yeah, he's not hitting Dotson. He doesn't
There
like him.
was there was one we thought he was going to be open because they were late to get over to him, and then you were seeing like towards the end of the play there, you saw like the safety over top. I forget who they threw the play on. I know Clayton remembers this one, but I was like, Dotson's going to be open here, and you saw the safety coming over quick to help out because the corner was late, super late getting over to get on him.
He was still running from the opposite side of the formation to try to get lined up there when the ball was snapped. And the safety, lucky for him, the safety seen it and flew over to pick it up. I think
Man,
it went to Brown.
I can't believe we won this game, man. Like, dude, how are we feeling? Seriously.
I'm hype.
I mean, like,
I feel great.
this seems like a loss to me. Like when we
Ah.
first started the game. When the game first started, I'm not gonna lie, man. I was
Well,
down.
Again, we never start fast. Clearly, because
Well,
we don't
yeah.
even have a first quarter point, but I feel like it takes Jalen a little bit to get dialed in. And I'll also say
But
this.
do you want that, or do you want it like?
No, I
start
don't. I
fast?
want to start 14 up, you know what I mean, right away, but
yeah,
I feel like Jalen's a game manager, man. He keeps us in it no matter what.
Yeah,
Well,
he's clutch.
that's the point. Like, so are we? We're doing it. There's no Fire Sirianni talks. There's no Hurts ain't the guy talks. Like, we're in it to win it, right?
Yeah, it's a good day to be an Eagle fan. I'll tell you what.
So, man, we could have put up 40. Like, Shipley had that touchdown, man. That wasn't holding.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
that
have been
was
called. Shouldn't have been called.
that would have been great. I was rooting for him to get that. I love Shipley.
And I was like, let's go for 2. let's get it.
Run it up.
It was definitely holding. That guy shouldn't even have been in there.
Yeah, he definitely got on the outside of it. Outside of the pads there, and had a hold of his jersey.
Yeah.
Glad to
but
see.
Go ahead.
I'm just glad. Also glad to see Saquon get up over 100. It didn't feel like he had 100.
He gashed what we needed him to, for sure.
Well, he got that one big one that was like 30 some yards, or maybe more than that. I don't know exactly how long it was, but I think that one's the one that took him over the top. I want to keep Saquon over 100 every game. I mean, that's just me being a stat
Agreed.
guy. So,
and it was good to see because he wasn't really rolling early on. He really came on late when we needed him to close it out there. That run down the sideline, man, where he ran the dude over and then tiptoed, almost got to the pylon. That's just another one of those plays that you look at and you're like, man, thank God Saquon Barkley is a Philadelphia Eagle.
Yes. And did you see when Hurts scored, he gave the ball to Saquon?
Yeah.
That's a good move. Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah, I like it.
Dope.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, we're rolling, man. We're rolling. But it's already like mid-season. It doesn't feel like it.
It's crazy.
Yeah, this season does feel like it's flying by.
Podcast makes it go faster too, I think, man, because I'm just so excited to do them every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we got? What do you think? What do you think for this team? Are we what's the limits? Not like we're leading.
We're tied for first.
5-2. All right, let's look at the Bears. Let's do this.
What's the
I'll pull it up.
the Redskins game?
12-7. Yeah. So we need the Bears to do something here.
Good luck.
Yeah. Oh.
12-7 fourth quarter.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Commanders got the ball.
Caleb Williams, 4 of 16 for 36 yards.
Meanwhile, my cousin is preaching about Caleb Williams is the best. He's in Chicago, but yeah.
Swifty McVane. Swifty's the only one doing anything for him. 13 carries, 98 yards, 7.5 average, 1 TED.
Well, let's talk
Uh,
about that, man. I love Swift, man. Like, it was there a world in which he stayed?
no, he signed quick to the Bears.
I know, but we didn't want to re-sign him.
I don't know if he wanted to be here.
Really? He's a Philly cat.
Yeah, you figure, but
And a Georgia boy.
maybe the collapse there and that turmoil in the locker room, maybe he just wasn't, feeling it.
Yeah, interesting. I do love it, man. I love that this team has like found their. I hate to say the word identity. Every time I say it, it's like my stomach churns. But like identity, man. Like this is it. Like we have a coach who went through a mental collapse mid-season, which is great. I love it. It's like, dude, you shaved your head. Like that's
I think I went through a mental collapse too at some point there.
But you shaved your head. That's never good. Like shaving the head is like he did it though. And like
And it looked like he did it in the bathroom himself. So like it wasn't even
Well,
like
that's what I
professionally
mean.
done.
That's what there was no fade. There was like it was
Yeah.
there was no fade. It's like he did it in the bathroom alone.
Hit
Probably
the
like
Novacare complex.
oh my god. He's like talking about milk. Like who's talking about milk? But it's the crazy. It's like the Joker. I don't know. We'll see. I think
Well,
we're onto something.
Since the him staring off into the wild with many men, dude.
Many.
He entered his villain phase.
Dude,
And he's winning.
Yes. Yes, ESP. I know I didn't have my mic plugged in and you can go I just want to do it, man. There's a standing invitation for you to come on here, ESP, you coward. Sorry, I had to make sure he saw that. Guys, what do we got? Anything else? Talk about it.
No, just to look ahead to the Jags, who seem to be in turmoil too. So
Yeah.
Man, we talked about stacking wins. Like, are we stacking all like when we talked about that, it was kind of like that'd be the best case scenario. Are we living best case scenario?
I think so, but not. I think when we were talking about it, we were kind of, I guess, what's the word I want to say? Like, I don't know that I was necessarily believing it, but now that it's happening, I'm starting to believe more.
I get what you're saying.
That makes sense.
Yeah. We weren't really like bought in. It's like this could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm bought in.
I'm bought in too.
I'm all in.
We're like waiting for Clayton.
Yeah.
Like, are you bought in?
Yeah. Are you in?
No, I'm all in. I've been all in. Like this wasn't just lip service to me, man. I've been talking shit. I've been talking shit to everybody, man, since the Browns win. And I know it wasn't. I know I've started off that negative as hell, saying didn't look great. Coming off your bye, you only beat them by blah blah blah. And then I went back and watched it, and after I went back and watched it, I was like, there is growth here. The roots are growing, and they have grown and grown and grown, and we're going to see a flower soon, I'm telling you.
Oh,
You are a regular Sirianni, man.
Dude, I'm a Sirianni disciple.
How, like, are we a Super Bowl team?
I'm not
We
going
don't
to
have
go
to
that
answer.
far yet.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go that far yet.
All right.
We still have some time to go here, but, I mean, if you're looking at the NFC, and I'm being 100% honest with you, there's only one team in this conference that scares me at all.
Detroit.
That's the only team that I look at, and I'm like, motherfucker, they're tough. Everybody else, get the fuck out of here. I'm looking for you. Line them up in front of us, because we're going to knock them down. That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, but
Line them up.
we could be a trade or two away to make a big splash here, man. I really do feel like Howie's. I do think Howie's going to make a big splash. I feel it.
Rumors are swirling.
Do you trade for Micah Parsons?
Oh God, I'd love that. But he's weird too.
He's a weird guy.
I don't think you get him. The Cowboys would fleece you for that.
I don't, man. That's going to be an interesting offseason down there because their cap space is terrible. And now they're going to have to sign Mike, even if they tag him. Like an edge tag is going to be expensive.
Yeah, he's
I
not
wonder
gonna-
what they do with that. What they do with him. I mean, they just gave
he doesn't want to
CD
be
a
there.
bag. Yeah, that's another thing. I mean,
He wants to be in Philly, dude. He's a Harrisburg cat, man. Like he
He-
doesn't want to be there.
for somebody who swears up and down he doesn't want to be in Philly, he knows all about us and he is up in our business all the time.
Because he's
Like-
from Harrisburg. His whole family's there. Like, come on, man. Like,
Come
he's
over
a
to the
hater,
dark
dude.
side. Come on
Yeah.
over.
Last weekend, a bunch of my buddies from paintball were playing with Fletcher Cox. He went to a field in Jersey.
Really?
Yeah. They were all
Nice.
hype about that. Yeah, they were all
Oh
loving
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else, guys, on the win? On the big 5-2 Eagles?
Do I give you the question I had, or do we wait for the pregame?
No, give it to me now. I want it all now. I can't wait.
Oh,
It's like
okay.
Christmas morning.
All right. If you could hang out with anyone from the Eagles organization, now I know we did the beer thing.
Organization, the whole
From
organization.
the organization for a day and either pick their brain, chill, relax, or whatever, who would it be and why?
Organization. Yeah. Oh wow.
Yes, anybody you pick.
Clayton, I took it over the first time. Last time.
Howie Roseman.
Nice.
And Mace basically just to see and pick his brain about, some of these trades, what goes into the day to day, the week to week, being the GM of the Philadelphia Eagles.
I was gonna say dead or alive too, so I don't know if that changes it for you.
Let's do it. Dead or alive. That's a whole other.
No, seriously, that was my question because
Oh,
mine's gonna
Dead or
be
Alive.
mine's gonna be something different, so I don't know if that changes it for you.
Well, that changes a ton. Yes, dead or alive. Yes.
I'm sticking with Howie.
Okay, good. Alex,
Because I know if I say who I should say, it's probably who you're going to say.
yeah, it probably is. Gonna be.
I am going to go as I interpreted it, as in who's in the organization now.
Yep.
Dead. That's a whole other. I mean, that's crazy. I think I like Clayton. I like Howie. Like the Howie answer, but I think I would pick Sirianni, man. And this is how I like judge people, right? Like I judge people. Because you can have a beer with anyone. You can have a beer with anyone, but would I have a second beer with you? Would I willingly have 2 or 3 with you? And I think Sirianni is a guy that I think he's a really good guy at heart. And I think I'd love to have like 2 or 3 beers with him. And I would love to sit down and just like talk life. I think like he's a great guy. I wouldn't even like football doesn't matter. I just like want to talk to you. I think Sirianni is the guy.
I
don't
like it.
For me, and if you were gonna pick this one, Clayton, I was gonna switch and go another route, but for me, it's gonna be Jim Johnson.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jim Johnson, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I want to pick his brain. I want to know why people don't use that style of defense anymore because it relies on a lot of great players doing a lot of things, but like that's a book that should be published in a national museum.
It always got me, man. Like speaking of Jim Johnson, like so Sean McDermott was his
Yeah,
like protege, but like
yeah.
yeah, but like so once Jim Johnson died, and rest in peace, man. Nothing but love for Jim Johnson, but it's like
His defense
weren't-
died.
Yeah, but there weren't like books, like there weren't binders of like, did he like, you know what I mean? Like within the NovaCare complex, there had to have been blueprints. Did
Yeah, I
we
don't know
just
that. That's what I
throw
want to
them-
find out.
Well, did we throw them all away? Like they had to have existed somewhere.
Yeah.
And then Sean McDermott comes in and it's like, dude, you like seriously just do the same thing. Like he had to have written everything down. Maybe he didn't. I don't know.
Clearly he didn't because Sean didn't do any of that stuff. Not a whole lot, at least.
Not
Yeah.
like Jim did. It didn't look like Jim's defense.
yeah.
Even
Yeah,
when
I mean-
Bowles was a disciple of.
I'll say this: the most, well, it's been a while, but the I could say at least this year the D that looked most like Jim Johnson's was that Saints defense.
Yeah, that was actually, I know, I hate saying that because they're going against us, but that was a fun defense to watch. Some of the concepts and blitzing
there's-
schemes they were doing, that was cool shit to see.
Who's that,
Showing and
Greg
checking out.
Guerrero?
Mm-hmm.
But if you were going to go that, Clayton, the other one I was going to go was Andy Reid, just to hang out with him. He seems like a good dude, too.
Yeah.
Wouldn't hang out with that guy. Not after he
See,
beats us.
see where,
That's
see
me.
where he went wrong as a parent.
What's that?
See where he went wrong as a parent.
See, oh my God, man.
All right, guys, we're getting out of here, guys. If you the Eagles are 5-2.
Dang.
If you want to write into the show, it's
No, I love Andy.
gmail.com. If you want to call in, please 215-469-1480. You can talk about parenthood and where Andy Reid went wrong. His son overdosed at the training camp. But regardless, guys, anything else that you'd like to say?
Man, good win, go Birds.
Great win. Eagles Nation, enjoy this week. We're going to keep it rolling next week. Go Birds.
Go Birds. Let's go.